Hello, I'm Gail Polubiak of Interview Academy, and our mission here is to help executives in transition by teaching you the tactical job search and interview strategies based on today's market needs, so you can get hired and start doing what you do best and enjoying your life again. I'll share more of my story with you later, but I'll also let you know I've been an executive recruiter since 1982, and I'm still the managing partner for a thriving retained search firm. The part of it is that there are too many people struggling to get hired in this new economy, so I founded Interview Academy to give people the tools they're missing to hammer home a job offer. In today's video, I want to share at least one of the top secrets that recruiters use that help you escape out of this rut. I know it can be discouraging sometimes, especially if you've been working at your job search for a long time, but the thing is, there's a huge, outrageous opportunity right now. It's so exciting because companies are now waking up to the horrific brain drain. They laid off their top wage earners to save themselves in the recession. But now that things are settling down, they're realizing what they've lost. They tried finding it by training less experienced people and discovered the huge limits in that solution. So companies are now fighting to reestablish the experience, the wisdom, and the knowledge that you took with you. Understand that according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, in 2013, there's only one new job entrant for every 5 people leaving the workforce every day. Newsweek called it a nuclear war for talent, and Deloitte had a recent study that found that companies say that attracting and retaining top talent was the #1 factor that will contribute to their growth in the next 10 years. So this is your time. We really do need you. But there's still that one big problem, right? Where are the jobs? So let's be honest. If you've had an experience with recruiters, whether your image of them looks like this or like this, believe me, I've worked with them all, recruiters have found a way of profiting in this new economy, and they hold a lot of the secrets. And today, we all have heard that 75% of the jobs are never advertised. But recruiters live in this 75% because once a job hits the job boards, then a company doesn't really need a recruiter to source candidates. So how are the recruiters reaching into this rich pool of hidden jobs? Well, many recruiters are using a strategy that I used for years, and I call it the email triple threat. And it's based on Michael Boylan's book, The Power to Get In. His premise is to make it harder to keep you out than it is to let you in. If I send an email to one person, then it's pretty easy for them just to hit the delete key. But if I want a way that forces them to pick up the phone so I can have a more productive conversation, I need to be a little bit more strategic. And that's where the email triple threat comes in. So with the email triple threat, the idea is to email your target and one position above and the person below, and then somebody lateral to your target. So the key is to let them all know who the other people are who are receiving the email, and I'll show you that in a minute more specifically. But your target is most likely going to be that person you're going to report to. LinkedIn is my go-to resource for these names. If I'm looking for a position as a national account manager, for instance, my target is going to be the head of national accounts. Then that target person reports to the VP of Sales and Marketing. That's going to be my next person. Then I'll add one of the other national account managers, and lastly, I'll include someone in a lateral position as my target, possibly the national sales manager or head of product marketing. So here's how the email looks. Subject, appropriate person. I am writing in hopes of finding the appropriate person who handles national account sales. I also wrote to person X, person Y, and person Z in that pursuit. If it makes sense to talk, let me know how your calendar looks. I recently was recruited by one of the larger competitors to install strict performance metrics and disciplined territory management plans to drive top-line production. This effort resulted in a multi-year division performance of 100+% of goal and a record $10,100,000 blended paid premium in 2012. If you are the appropriate person to speak with, What does your calendar look like? If not, who would you recommend I talk to? Thank you, and your signature. This is a proven and tested format. It really has been successful. So I would encourage you to follow it exactly like it is, but that's up to you. The major components of this include the subject, appropriate person. We've tried other subjects, but this seems to be the one that yield the best open rates. And the first sentence is where you alert them who else is receiving this email. This is huge because this is your power play based on CYA. Your target knows his or her boss has received this email, so they're not just going to delete it. They're going to think, well, what if my boss wants to know what I did with this email? What if the national sales manager brings it up in a meeting? I'm going to have to know. So chances are strong that they are going to pick up the phone and call you and at least explore it. And that's what you want. You want to be able to get into a conversation. So with the other part of this is to be vague. As I said, national account sales. That's a very broad-based. This is not where you're going to say, do you have an opening? That's what job-seeking beggars do, and it's very off-putting. This is a more strategic strategy. In the third sentence, include the call to action, as I did here. If it makes sense to talk, let me know what your calendar looks like. The second paragraph is a very strong positioning statement for you. This is where you're going to show how you've contributed to a previous organization and how that firm benefited. This is not exactly the way some career coaches are preaching, because a lot of people are being told you should tell them what you can do for them. Well, my premise is that you can't tell them what you can do for them until you know what they need work on. So this is just showing exactly where you have contributed to a previous organization and how the firm has benefited. And last paragraph is another call to action, or at least getting a referral. So once you've send that off, it's not a set it and forget it deal. If you don't receive a response from anyone in 2 days, go back to your original email, reply all, delete your name. See, this is going to keep that original email in the body. Then in your message, just simply paraphrase what you've already said, but reference your original email below. And let's say if you did get a referral, again, reply all, delete your name, set the appointment with your target, reference your original email, and thank everyone for their time and consideration. You know, this is something you can do. The email triple threat is easy and powerfully successful in my experience, because it plays on that simple human psychology, CYA. I know some people who have felt shy about taking such a stand in the beginning. Maybe it's because it's different. But the more they use it, the more they've seen how their network has grown exponentially as a result of this one easy strategy. So I know they've become great advocates for me on that. So that wraps up today's video, and I'm really looking forward to sharing the next one with you. Keep your eyes open in your inbox. It'll be here in the next day or two. In the meantime, add your questions and comments, and I'll be personally answering them as they come in. Until I see you again, relax and know the future is good. Thank you so much.